When you say compromise, what do you say?
It needs to be a team operation, and there's no more team.
Okay.
Due to the recent events. So I put it out before that it's, it behooves all of us to understand the process. It's pretty simple. It's listed in detail in the studio, but without a good solid dry run, it can be very frustrating. So we've scheduled those before, and I'm sure we'll schedule that again. In terms of emergency power, the emergency umbrella is obviously a lot more encompassing than just electricity. So,
Are you talking about like accidents in the workplace, that kind of thing, fire?
All that stuff, fire, floods is a good one, earthquakes, acts of God. I could go on for a half an hour about this, but
Please don't.
Please don't. I didn't know I was on the agenda.
There's nothing personal to you.
It's all right.
No, I understand. It's just something that we could all benefit from knowing more about. There are a few of us right here who have a pretty good grasp of it, and I'm sure we're happy to share our experience.
So we've got 3 questions for you. Milo, put his hand up.
Well, I was going to say, I don't know if anybody's noticed, but the back of this metal shed is going to go peeled back. So,
I don't have that fixed in another year.
Okay, so that just
Proper screws.
FYI.
And Randy, you had...
Well, I've been sneaking in when the cleaning ladies here on Saturday to service the transmitter. As far as I know, there's not a key that fits Burkhoff that's available. Excuse me, that's available anyway. Is that, do you know about that?
Yeah.
You can.
We'll talk about it.
And I had a 3rd question. How many people are on the committee, and are you asking for more volunteers to join the committee?
It's only me at this point, as far as I know.
So would you like volunteers?
I would say that's a valid volunteer position to fill. Yes, sir.
Okay, look like volunteer.
Mid-second man.
Cool, thanks, Don. Good call.
He lives on premises.
I think it's a good call.
Early response.
I'll volunteer to be honest, because I think the guys there.
Emergencies averted. Part of the vision of this station, I think, is that we could respond to the community in terms of what's going on in the event of a real emergency, such as a medevac. We get calls about power lines, road closures. We get school. It's part of our mission to communicate with the community. Particularly lost dogs. I've had those calls. Particularly, in the event of something tragic.
Are you done?
Never done. Yeah.
Can we pass for now?
Please.
Okay, thanks. Just 2 more things to cover. During the food break, someone came up and talked to me about putting on studio security and equipment. And they're not here, but I think what they're talking about is, I noticed myself too, in the log book, I see so much people coming in, especially on Monday morning, that the studio is unlocked. And it's appearing in the log book quite often. My question is, I'm wondering, do all volunteers know how to alarm and disalarm the alarm system?
Mostly, the only people that are supposed to know that is the people that have to go in and the people that exit at the end of the day. But because there have been vacancies, there have been probably a lot of volunteers who weren't exposed to having somebody not be there. But if for Monday morning, I mean, that would be Sadie. And there's been times where I've gone in when Sadie's left the show and marched her out and everything was fine, and still the next morning someone complained about something being there. And part of that issue is we've got Don in, saying if someone's crossing that bridge at night and coming in messing with the studio, and we want to know about it, and we have made other suggestions about fire security.
On that point, there's a camera running 24/7 on the driveway and the parking lot. Everybody wants to wait for the camera.
either way, I'm happy to have the improvement. And the other is, were any of us ever told there were cameras on the property? Were any of us told that there were cameras on the property?
Oh, I said in a couple of emails that that's what I was doing.
Oh, I'm shocked.
There isn't, well, I don't know why there's, I just had my tires punched out and had to go around to the neighborhood to find out how many cameras were on the area. As it turns out, there's 3 cameras just as you walk across the street anywhere here in Guerneville. So I put the camera up there for very specific reasons, and that's at nighttime. But I just, I look at the computer. Computer runs, camera runs, and yes, it's on when you drive in and record your car coming in on night or day.
And while I don't personally have a problem with it, I think that there should be notification. I think here,
I didn't know about it either.
Well, I probably should have told everyone.
We passed at a past meeting, everyone that was in the room raised their hand about wanting a camera on the studio door. So it's not much difference between the studio door and the bridge.
This is for the church. This is the camera on the church parking lot. You're coming and going, and that's certainly our right to do so. But the camera is recording the traffic coming into the church parking lot.
The issue, Mark, was, yes, we did that, but the volunteers need to know what was done. Okay, that's all. So, could you handle that?
Well, I've installed a gate on the bridge too. The children from the school have managed to already stomp it down. So once the gate is,
Can you make a report to the volunteers about the security and the gate?
Sure.
Please.
Whether or not you know about it or not, now Don's telling you about trying to put a gate on the bridge. One of the things that we have been concerned about, although Don is, he's got his big camper out here, we don't want other campers coming over that bridge. That bridge, it's...
I've been inspecting the bridge, sorry, shape. The carpenter ants are pretty much done a number on it.
So the point being is we don't want a whole lot of big vehicles come across it. And the other night, Don's vehicle was there, and we were on our way to Main Street or someplace, and we saw another camper like almost getting ready to think that they were going to pull in. It's like, no, please don't do that. And they decided, oh, well, we'll pull up here on the street like they usually do in the campers, but we don't want people.
We've had a number of times campers come in late at night and pull in and park and sleep. So the purpose of the gate, is twofold. One is to stop the traffic, the heavy-duty traffic coming over that bridge all the time, and two, provide a level of security for the area. Everybody, the last person out, their only responsibility will be to close the gate. It's open for everybody else. I open it up in the morning early, and I will. And the last person out, I imagine Sadie and or the Green Baron, we close the gate as they.
Mike, if you had your hand up.
Yeah, I recall there was some controversy about the cameras. Wasn't that one of the issues?
Well, it was about inside. We passed it. We did pass it.
But I'm understanding that that was one of the issues that I remember that was brought up as
The camera issue.
It came up very loudly.
Right. Megan?
the motion that was passed back when was about getting more information about getting cameras. It wasn't actually to put them up, but I just think that we should.
I don't know. I think I recall